April 18th. I got wind noise here. We're about 40 miles east of Flagstaff, Arizona, and we're at the most well-preserved impact crater on Earth right here. It's about 3/4 of a mile across, 550 feet deep. It was hit with a 150-foot sphere, weighed 300,000 tons, and only lost about 2% coming in from outer space. It was the most well-preserved impact crater. It took until the 60s to prove it was an impact crater. They thought it was a volcanic crater, but it's amazing. And they've only got just very little. About 80% of it destructed, vaporized when it hit here, so there's not a whole bunch of it left. Very more useless information. The meteorite was going 26,000 miles an hour when it hit here. And the rights to this land were owned by a guy named Barringer, who was mining silver and turquoise in southern Arizona. He came up here hoping to find that giant chunk of meteorite, which is just basically mostly iron, and sell it to the railroads. He worked at it 25 years, stuck his drill bit in the ground, declared bankruptcy, and died. And in the background over there is Mount Humphreys. It's 12,000 feet and the highest point in Arizona. What about Barringer? He thought that the meteorite that hit here was approximately the size of the bottom of this whole site here, but it wasn't. And the only place he drilled was right down there, that small area down there. And he never recovered any of it because there wasn't any to recover. I'm gonna go inside and shoot the largest piece that's ever been recovered, and in case there are a bunch of folks in there, I won't be saying too much, but it weighs 1,470 pounds. The largest piece of the meteorite that was recovered is 92% iron, 8% nickel. That's the biggest piece. Barringer was digging in a dry hole. Barringer, that's probably the best perspective you'll see. 15 miles east of Flagstaff, there's Mount Humphreys, the tallest mountain in Arizona. Back to the meteor impact zone, there are about 200 of those impact areas, craters in the world. The largest one is in South Africa. It's 300 times the size of this one. But anyway, that was an interesting stop. It's April 19th. We're staying in a place called Munns Park, about 20 miles on the other side of this mountain range. But now we're at a friend of ours' house, Randy and Loretta Roulier. I met Randy and Loretta in Savannah. We built their house, probably one of the finest houses we've built. And Randy and I did a couple of deals together, but they needed a place out west, or wanted a place out west, so they came out. She wanted to go to Santa Fe, but they went to Sedona. This is a bedroom community of Sedona. Hang on just a minute. And the name of it is, I may have just said it, Village of Oak Creek. It's a planned community. And just looked around here, and this is the third or fourth house a realtor showed them. And when they looked at it, it was just in real bad shape. But Loretta is the most talented person I've ever seen in decorating and art and so forth. And she's done just a miracle job with this. It's beautiful, but this is what got them right here, is this beautiful view. I'm going to shoot some scenes from the inside in just a minute, a little bit. She said I could if I didn't harass them. That's a Cathedral Rock right over there. And Sedona is right back there, about 7 or 8 miles, I think. And then this is called Bell's Rock, right there with a little crown on the top. It's just, what a view. Beautiful. Front of their house, we rode over here in the car, thank goodness. I wouldn't want to cross that range in our bus. But this is their front yard. How about that? Not too shabby. Loretta said I could shoot some of the inside of the house. She and Jenny are up there talking. But this is what you see when you walk in. It's just gorgeous. This little alcove behind the front door. But Loretta's done all this stuff. Hi, Loretta.
Hi.
But it's just beautiful. She had a lot of work to do when she came in here. She said it was all painted white. There's the dining room. Here's Randy's desk.
No, it's not.
Not too bad.
It's not right.
But the artwork and pieces that they have in here is just beautiful. All right, that's all I'm going to do. I don't want to embarrass her. Got all this. She gave me permission to shoot a little bit more. They found this table locally, and it's just great. And Randy had that bar made. Not too bad. And they created that bar. I like that. No whining. This is her master bedroom. I'm not going to bore you to death with this, but it's just so impressive how she does this stuff. And here's her workshop. She's creates jewelry, turquoise and so forth. And the swimming pool. Just very nice. Here's my first view of the Grand Canyon. Make a long story short, 6 million years ago this was a flat plain and the Colorado River was running across the top of it, and it carved this out at the rate of about a thickness of a sheet of paper per day. Here's another shot. Hope I don't bore you to death. There's a lot to look at here in the Grand Canyon. The Colorado River is right down in that canyon, right, that cut right over there below that horizontal dark line right there. I'm kind of close to the edge. I don't want Jenny getting too close to me. Another vista, a mile down there. Little signage for you. And there the Cape Royal, Wotan's throne, and Vishnu Temple. And there they are, Vishnu Temple, Wotan's throne, Cape Royal. Pretty accurate point overview. And right down there,
I'm so tired. She's like, we're not going to do anything. She's like, I'm ready for what you're doing. And I was like, you?
is a peak. I can't find it. There it is right there in the center of the screen. There's the Colorado River, just a peak of it. Grand Canyon facts. I hope you can read them. Thought it was pretty interesting. Beats me talking about it. We'll skip down to the bottom.
Like, honestly, it's... I've seen pictures, but there's nothing like seeing it in person. I think it's into, like, the crust.
The north rim is 1,000 feet taller than where we are right now. Views of the Colorado River. That one right there. And then there's another one right there to the bottom left of that red cliff. Some friends of ours, Jeff and Sherry Goodman, came out here on an excursion, flew to the bottom of this canyon in a helicopter, and got on a boat caravan or whatever and spent 2 nights down there. But that was neat. It was pretty scary and interesting. That squiggly line over there is a trail to the bottom of this thing, a mile down. Wouldn't be so bad going down, but coming up it'd be a bear. A lot of people do it. Not this one. Bottom of that path where it levels out and goes over there to the end of that thing and goes, I'm sure it's twisty down there, but a friend of mine, Al Steele, walked to the bottom of this thing and said it was just magnificent. Well, that about does it for the Grand Canyon. As my friend Harry Breeze said, don't take long to look at a horseshoe. One more little tidbit. This is the end of this video right here, but that green patch down there, you got dwellings and the Dude Ranch and so forth, and you can go down there and hike and do whatever you want at the bottom of a canyon. This is it for the video. Grand Canyon. Just had to do this. Is another stop we made, and there's the best view on the south rim of the Colorado River. And this wraps it up. This is the last end of this video, I promise. We're in Williams, Arizona. Some factoids about the Grand Canyon. I'm at the library getting ready to send this thing out. Grand Canyon is 55 miles north of I-40, which runs right along Route 66. Grand Canyon is 277 miles long, 10 miles wide, and a mile deep. And that is it for the Grand Canyon.